Hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to... Oh, shoot. You know what? I'll make do with whatever I've got. Welcome back to another episode. Ooh. I really do not actually know what perks I have. It should be fine. I'll make it do. I'll figure it out. Welcome back to some more 20 minutes, till dawn. It's about one of the only things I can record at the moment. My voice has gone from problems to actually like just not being terribly cooperative. No, we want curse. None of these are curse. What do we want? We want power shot. We want power shot, we want glare, we want curse, and we want frost. And we want to push that really hard. If I can actually get some glare range, that might actually be exactly what we need. Well, there's glare. Unless I wanted to try and go for... No, because I'd rather double this or this. Not sight magic. Actually, no. Maybe I do. Yeah, no, we're going to choose this one. I'm going to see... Not double, triple. I want to see if I can triple some of my bullet effects. Because if I can pull that off, I'm going to be in an interesting position. I don't know if I'm going to be in a good one. I don't even know if I'm going to win here. I haven't even messed with Darkness 7 before, so... I mean, it should be fine. I can't imagine too much. Anyway, like I mentioned, I'm losing my voice in kind of a rough way. Grab Frost Mage. Mostly characterized by just general sore throat and a feeling of rawness. I'm just assuming it's weather or overuse. From years of overuse. I think we're pretty much at my channel's 9-year anniversary. I'm honestly shocked that something like this hasn't happened before. And it's one of those that, like, I don't think it's actually that big of a deal. No, I just take a break. Admittedly, I felt like I've been taking a break for much of this last year, which is kind of weird. I've seen this echoed, actually with quite a lot of different content creators and just people in general. The feeling of working, like I'm working myself too hard, but then, let's see, damage from glare is doubled. Yeah, we wanna snag this one. Damage from glare really isn't that big of a deal. I mean, 50 damage is good, don't get me wrong. But it's not what I'm doing this run for. What I want is for it to proc faster, I think is the answer. Because if I can get it so it's proccing really quickly by tripling it, that's the real money upgrade I can grab. Okay, bullets have a 25% chance to inflict curse, deals 200% of my bullet damage. That's kind of what I want. Here's the question, synergies. There should be a new curse. Okay, so we got a couple. Ooh, giant and angelic. I will have to try that with diamond. That sounds really fun. Holy Shield's not active. Kills with smite, lower the regen. We've seen that. Huh. Increase fire rate by 10% and piercing by by +1 every 10 seconds. This bonus is reset on getting hit. In the wind and assassin. Interesting. Generator. When you gain ammo, 35% fire rate in 2 seconds. Enemies killed by curse will spread curse to nearby enemies. So I need Reaper rounds plus ritual. And then in the wind and assassin. Those all sound pretty fun. I think the only disappointment here, mildly, is just that these runs are just a little short sometimes. I don't want to play endless mode unless endless mode gets a buff, but I would actually really like to... You know, Darkness 15 or Darkness 16 as a super bonus mode added an additional 10 minutes. That one's tough. We want Ritual, which is great. I guess we might as well snag this one, because we do not want Saccade yet. Whereas Wither is fine. Because getting Wither makes it so, let's see. So we can get Ritual. Getting Ritual earlier than later lets us actually benefit from its effects. I don't actually know how good it's going to be, but if I can then get like a bunch of scattershotty splinter moves and have Curse just infinitely spread itself to all enemies, that could work really well for me. We'll see. Let's see. Right, I was talking about hustle culture, the dark side of it. I think we want sight magic. We could potentially have it double or triple apply effects, which could be good, but the frequency is the most important part, in my opinion. Because if I can get it so it's doing glare triggers constantly, that's going to be so much more powerful than any other alternative, I think. I could be wrong. Did I already kill the boss? No, I didn't. I just knocked it back a bunch. Then the other thing is just investing really hard into just raw damage, maybe. EXP gain. Okay, so that's unfortunate. Let's see. Every 10 enemies killed by cursed, increase your bullet damage by 1%. I mean, the thing is, like, ultimately, if we don't get the triple on this one, the 40% EXP is actually probably better to get this early, just because it's way more useful to get early on in the run. I'm still killing things perfectly fine, so I don't need to worry too much about, like, needing a triple to actually do well. And this way I can potentially clear out my pool. So we kind of want Assassin over any of these. Because yeah, rubber bullets wouldn't be terrible, but no. We're going to be going for heavy pierce. No multi-shot, or minimal multi-shot. Just because we want my eventual splinter shot bullet curse damage to do just like banger hits. Let's see. Do we want to grab penetration? Sure. Just inherent piercing is nice. I already have infinite piercing on what, 1 in 3 shots, which in and of itself is like actually nutty good on a run. It's gonna be worse once I start getting surrounded. But as long as I can be putting out this kind of damage output, it's not that big of a deal. Let's see. Sniper. Sniper. Gives us more bullet damage anyway. And the glare is going to give us kind of the edge we need to keep the enemies off of us. Like, I might go for the double shot just because the slight damage down is not that tremendous. But this is definitely going to be a little bit more of like an odd skill run. I usually go for saturation fire for obvious reasons. Oh, and that's hard. Let's see. So, stuff like Shatter would be good too, but let's grab Assassin, because, boy, the extra fire rate and piercing over time sounds really solid. Oh, I should probably... Synergies really quickly. Double check. Ritual plus Reaper rounds. Okay, so we already have half of that. I guess we do need to go down the power attack tree, but that's not that big of a deal. Alright, I forgot we've got the knock enemies back on reload thing. That's going to be huge. But yeah, I think there's kind of an inherent guilt, and I almost want to say that it's like... Hell, I'd hate to attribute it to any kind of generational thing. My shield. Okay. Stay away from him. Smite might not actually be a bad move here. I have no immediate better options, and I have some healing. There we go. And not that I care too much for Smite, however, I am getting surrounded. This build does not do well in close quarters. Well, it does fine in close quarters. It doesn't do fine when constrained. Okay, so if I want in the wind, I've got to go down the movement speed. Honestly, that's actually going to be just as helpful to some degree in this situation. Whoa. Maybe smite damage is affected by your vision radius. It feels like I have got a much longer radius on this one than some of my previous runs. I could be wrong on that. Let's see. What was I going to say? But I don't want to attribute anything to you know, age or generational, because I'm assuming that everybody has to go with the feeling of not doing enough. I think that's normal, but I think it's exceptionally normal nowadays in a way that might not have been normal 10 years ago. Interestingly enough, I went back, in college, I was tasked, by my college, effectively, to interview professionals to get their perspective on things. I want none of these. I mean, Tome of Rage could be interesting, but I still don't think I want it. No. Maybe something that boosts my raw damage, so I can one-shot suckers faster. Okay, so we might need some reload speed. I'll work on it. Okay, grab Big Shot, because we want Reaper Rounds. Reaper Rounds, in fact, is probably going to be one of the more useful things I can grab. I was kind of hoping I could get Splinter, but I haven't seen it go by in a while. But, so I was looking at my notes, and I'd been talking to a concept artist in California who had hit it big. I don't actually know what games or movies he does concept art for, interestingly enough. But I followed him on social media, which, you know, back in the early 2010s, like, Twitter existed, but it really was not, like, the place everybody was on. So, like, I don't know, DeviantArt, conceptart.org, stuff like that. That's where I really, like, found out about these people and interacted with them or followed them. Oh boy, even the Splinter Shot is exactly what I needed. Now we've got a little bit of Cascade going. And the damage on it is not bad because my, you know, max damage here is solid. Okay. Smite does extra damage. Yep, we'll pick that up. Because that's just inherently a super solid thing. Gives me more kind of clearing. Go from there. Anyway, so this concept artist had more or less just... I was asking him, like, how did he get a job, what was his career path, and random advice, and one of the pieces of advice that he had given was a piece of advice that pretty much everybody when I was in college had given me, and I'm assuming it's kind of one of those that we just keep reinforcing this mindset of, Angelic would be nice, but we want Reaper Rounds. That's gonna give us so much punch. The idea of work hard and then work harder. And so I think everybody that is ever successful says that. Not everybody. I think there are some people that are aware enough of their situation to say, no, I actually got lucky. And, let's see. I already have some healing, so I don't need to worry too much about that. Let's go for rapid fire. Just because. I am having some issues firing off shots here. I think In the Wind will help, and then the, you know, synergy move related to it. Let's see. But yeah, the idea of work hard and then work harder is something that I think I've heard echoed from a lot of people. Let's see. Justice would actually be really lovely. But we gotta go for In the Wind. We need these synergies. But I hear it echoed often enough, and I wonder if it's kind of one of those that we keep reinforcing the idea of this over and over again on a cultural level until there's some kind of shift that says, you know, no, this is actually really stupid advice. I found myself kind of, I don't want to say like beset on all sides by this, but, you know, in college, everybody I knew echoed this. Kunoichi. So as long as I don't get hit, I am going to become monstrous over the next couple minutes. And hopefully my fire rate will match, and my piercing and a bunch of other things. I'll probably want to spec more into shield, just to give myself more options there, but I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. And then we have Death Plague, which is great. Maybe not actually that useful, given the situation. I'm not sure what the range of Death Plague ends up being. I mean, it seems to work. And my main thing is, I just want to get my glare to trigger really quickly. Is if I can get my... Because my vision distance, I think, is pretty high at this point. I might also want to... No, we want to go light bullets. Yeah, we'll go light bullets for the time being. I was thinking we might actually want to go down the split bullet path just a little bit. Specifically so I can get my hands on the upgrade that makes it so... the upgrade that makes it so when I reload, I fire bullets around me. That actually would be pretty handy. Do we want to do quick hands? Probably. I'm just thinking fan fire might actually work really well for me. And same thing with split fire. It's the main question of fusillade, because I can take a 10% damage hit here. I don't think that's bad. Otherwise we go shatter. I'm gonna snag shatter first. The extra saturation fire just to proc special effects would be nice, but I get it a little bit from glare. So I don't think I need to worry about it as much. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, the idea of work hard and then work harder is... It's weird, because, like, on some base level, I think everybody realizes that this is actually terrible advice. Maybe I'm wrong on this one, but it almost kind of feels like there's this, like, weird regret as part of it. Like, yeah, you know, I worked hard, I bootstrapped myself into a good position in life. But then, you know, somewhere along the line, there's kind of that alternate moment where where these people might say, like, boy, I wish I had done something else. Okay, let's grab Divine Blessing. It gives us a little bit more move speed and gets us closer to shorter cooldowns on the shield. Which, I mean, realistically, there is a potential for me tripling that and that becoming kind of great in its own right. But yeah, I was talking to somebody that was that was kind of advocating for spending, you know, a couple of years of your 20s grinding really hard at, like, financial institutions, more or less just working 80, 100-hour weeks until you make it big, and then you can relax. And I think about that a little bit, and from a YouTube perspective, that very much was the advice, kind of, that I gleaned from years and years and years of, you know, doing this job of, you really do kind of just want to push through until you're successful enough that you can be, full-time. The only immediate problem with that, to some degree, is that once you're there, then you have to kind of defend that position, and you can't just relax once you're full-time. In fact, then that's almost when it feels like you have to work harder, because all of a sudden, you know, you're committed to this thing, and to give it up is equal parts like admitting failure, but even worse than that, you're kind of out of options. There's a study, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's not accurate anymore, but as far as, like, first generation YouTube stars, like, less than half of them, I think, had degrees, or even, like, gotten particularly far in college, that many of these guys, and gals, oh boy, I got surrounded a little bit trying to shoot at the boss. I'm deadly in a direction, but I need my enemies to line up for me, or they're just dead. Perfect. Perfect. Specialize. Exactly what I was hoping for. Let's just hope our next upgrade is not crap. Okay, let's scoot. I'm a very fast sucker, which is kind of handy. Okay, please give me... There's watch and learn, which is not really what I want. There it is. Okay, so... damage from glare occurs twice as often. Now, I'm not entirely sure how fast this is, but it feels pretty damn fast to me. Which means hopefully now we are omnidirectionally spreading curse pretty quickly. It certainly feels like it. They're definitely getting stalled, and the curse explosions are working. I'm glad I picked Shatter as well. I think that worked reasonably well. So, guess we get the last upgrade that increases our vision range and pickup range, and then after that start focusing a little bit more on gun. I could potentially get the slower curse, but I kind of think we want the faster one. There's Justice, Doom, Stalwart Shield. I'm gonna snag that just in case, because things could get kind of spicy in a bad way. And if I lose my shield, I start losing a lot of my perks. Because we've got both in the wind and then the other associated ability with it. Okay, I wanted to double check. What do I need for death rounds? Light bullets, Reaper rounds. I think we might have both of those already. I'll have to check as we go by. Okay. But I'm gonna grab quick hands. Reload speed is one of our current big issues. But so, just to, I don't know. I don't want to say finish my thought, because this is something that's stuck in my head, you know, here, I'll get to that in a, well, I don't know. Here I am, you know, with my voice kind of going. It's actually feeling a little bit better now that I'm talking. So maybe it's just kind of one of those that I actually do need to just push forward and be fine. Or that, you know, ultimately, well, we might as well actually grab recharge. There's no penalty for it. Maybe I should actually grab that. Whenever you refill ammo, you get a fire rate bonus. I could actually see that being pretty good here. I don't know. But yeah, here I am having kind of this issue and I'm pushing forward, and it's kind of hard to give the advice of, like, don't work harder, because, like, what kind of horrid advice is that to some degree? Like, obviously, it's important to take your leisure, but the way the world currently works is pretty much everybody has to work their asses off, and if you start trying to convince people to be lazy, like, actually lazy, I'm not talking the, like, millennials don't know what the meaning of real work is. Ooh, boy. Because, like, I've been subjected to that enough. Enough to very much know that, like, that kind of opinion is almost always just foisted upon us by people that have limited to no empathy nor interest in understanding what, like, another person might ever go through. And often it's just kind of a sappy buzzword? Sappy buzzword? I don't know. It's like when people start throwing around insults rather than counter arguments. It's like, well, you sure showed me. I keep getting my shield back just to lose it. Reaper rounds, hell yeah. I guess that's gonna hurt my smite damage a little bit, but it's gonna make the rest of me just so much stronger that it's hard to care. I'm very glad I'm fighting these guys, because they're just going to delete themselves from the pool. There it is. Okay, so we still have the bird, elasticity, and rage. Do I want rage? No. Rage would be terrible for me. All of these are bad, in fact. Well, let's go kill the weird bird. And, like, don't get me wrong, I think there are plenty of people that are lazy out there that don't want to do work, that just want to coast through life. And to some degree, like, maybe that's okay. You know, maybe, I don't know. For me, I always kind of have the question of, like, yeah, obviously you kind of want everybody to be contributing. We all lift together. But some people just aren't made for lifting in the same way that other people are. And that I think having that expectation that we all have to lift equally, it suddenly reinforces this weird, crab in a bucket mentality. Where everybody's always just kind of looking down on each other for perceived deficiencies, I guess. Like, oh, you're not working as hard as me, therefore you are the lesser person in this situation. And that's a weird and spooky thing to think about, I guess, for me, just because it commoditizes too much and rarely thinks about the individual. It ultimately puts people down to a score more than anything else. I was reading about depression scores recently. I think that's maybe part of the reason why I'm stuck on this a little bit, in the idea of, like, trying to even put a number to how you are feeling is impossible. You know, how is my voice feeling right now? Well, I don't know, I'd say I'm at, like, 6 out of 10 capacity. You know, usually, well, 6, maybe 5, maybe even down to 4, kind of varies a little bit. But, like, how do I know when it's bad? You know, what determines, Yeah, I'm gonna grab double shot just so we can get fanfire. I'll take the 10% damage hit. This also, like, doubles my effectiveness on a fire rate basis without really hurting my curse damage too much. But yeah, how do you put a number on, like, a feeling? How do you put a number on someone's worth in society? And the answer is just like, well, some people try, but I feel like that's inherently evil. I think about these things too much. I clearly need to actually put them to words or study more philosophy. Really both. For me, I guess I never minored in it. I have an associate's degree in ethics, or at least part of one? Shit, I don't remember. I think I have an associate's degree in ethics. Or no. Sorry. I've been out of college for 10 years now, and I'm forgetting the actual terminology. Because there's the associate's degree. Associate's degree is the 2-year one. It's the one where you just kind of, take a bunch of classes. It's not minoring, is it? Or maybe it is. Shit, I don't remember. Let's see, reload rate, 5% every enemy killed, bonus resets after reloading. Well, that should more or less mean I never have to reload. And my fire rate is pretty stupid, so I should be able to just rip through everything at this point. I don't remember anything at all, and it's a problem. Anyway, I took a lot of ethics classes. I was starting to go for philosophy and psychology, but ethics is really what captured me. Because I wasn't really interested in psychology, because I found a lot of psychology was about, like, fixing people. And I think for me, I ended up gravitating towards fixing society or societal systems. And so you'll probably notice that this is something that I come back to often. Fire rate, reload rate, and vision range. If only I didn't have 45 seconds left to go. This run finally made it to its peak. And honestly, that's fine. We are absolutely nutty for not really... Well, I mean, we're still doing saturation fire. It's just a different kind. I don't even know what to say anymore. I guess just... This entire topic was work hard and then work harder. But I guess the real answer for this run is curse hard and then curse harder. Look, I gotta wrap it up for... wrap it back in for an easy YouTube title, probably. That's a damn fine run. Look at how many upgrades I grabbed. Getting that 40% EXP boost, like, right away in the beginning is huge. And fun, and satisfying. I really enjoy this game. I'm glad it's still getting updates, and to some degree, I hope this is one of those games that randomly just gets, like, a major update once a year, that just adds a bunch more. It'd be fine without it, but boy, I could see it going places. But for now, at least, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you next time.